In this video, I'm going to be philosophizing on mind-body connections, specifically maintenance processes. We can engage the maintenance of mind-body from specific, well-defined subjectivo-objectivo relacionados that are connective of mind-body meaningfully. Some perception, action, and or behavior is meaningful rather than meaningless and irrelevant with no meaningful effect. Where there are some neuroscientists and psychologists who posit the idea that perception, action, and or behavior of any kind and type to typology that is codified and which there exists highest organizations of organizing meaningful information into specific information processes, that absorptions of sensors transduce meaningful information into the nervous system regarding our sense experiences in association with our preceptors and the direct and indirect precepts that process meaningful information and will always change the nervous system. This is a myth. We don't have meaningful transformations that are always related to every single perception, action, and or behavior. Certain perception, action, and or behaviors are more meaningful and also more meaningful for the maintenance processes of healthy psychological functioning, which optimizes physical and psychological health, though mostly meaningfully physical and psychological well-being in association with creating meaningful living. As we engage in specific, intrinsic, motivating, meaningful processes that are more related to our own unique properties existing, that are the meaningful properties and not the meaningless existing properties to the self, that have more meaningful direct and indirect effects and capacities to improve the efficiency of our processing. So engaging in reading that's something meaningful to the self, something that interests the self intermittently, so that you do it not necessarily every day, though that you do it with enough meaningful frequency, will have the capacity of a meaningful effect that can increase various capacities of perception, action, and or behavior in regards to the written and recorded word. Recognizing specific terms, developing your vocabulary, being able to create more creative and dynamical associations with your thinking, especially if you're engaging in creative reading. So you're thinking as you're reading and you're digesting the material through your ingestions of absorbing the aesthetics of what you're experiencing in relation to your own, say, experiences. And that you're also engaging more dynamically as if you're having a conversation with the text. Maybe you're even taking notes, and those notes that you record, you might jot a few words or paragraphs and sentences in association with that, maybe directly to a screen if you read on your phone and you take notes on your phone. This is a manner of approach to being able to engage more meaningfully in activities that will have meaningful transformations on the nervous system, engaging what's called the orbito-prefrontal cortex, which is at the front of the brain, in association also with various limbic regions of the brain, which, since we're talking here about intrinsic motivation, we're developing meaningful emotions and emotion regulations in association with higher order cognition, and being able to develop self-discipline in association with our own voluntary suffering associated with the responsibilities to engage that studying. Say, if you're reading more complex material that you find intrinsically motivating and rewarding. This is something that can develop meaningful living and have a meaningful impact on the calibrations of mind-body connection, establishing more of those unique properties associated with specialized knowledge as we engage more of that creative reading and also creative writing in association with those note-taking. And this can have more of a long-term meaningful effect on improving psychological well-being and our capacity to engage in more meaningful emotions and cultivating those meaningful emotions that are more of the intellectual emotions in this regard. That's all I want to say for this video. Hope you have an awesome one. Keep on developing those acepçãodades.